Every school leader knows that feeling of frustration, right? You launch this brilliant new initiative, you've got high hopes, and then it just kind of fizzles out over time. Well, today we're going to explore a totally different approach to making success stick, and it's all based on the partnership model from Cultivate Education. So here's what we're diving into. We'll start with that big implementation challenge that, let's be honest, plagues so many districts. Then we'll unpack Cultivate Education's unique take, this partnership model, and the framework they use. We'll even introduce you to the experts behind it all, look at some real-world results, and see how this all leads to a sustainable future. All right, first things first, let's really tackle that core problem every school leader faces, that huge gap between having a great plan on paper and actually seeing it succeed in the long run. Well, it almost always comes down to the team. You can have the absolute best plan in the world, but if you don't have the right people in the right roles with the right kind of support, even the most amazing initiatives can just fall flat. So what's the solution then? Well, it's not about finding a better program, it's about finding a better partner. It really starts with completely rethinking what external support should even look like. You know the drill. Traditional consulting often feels like you're trying to shove your district's unique strengths, your people, your culture, into some prepackaged one-size-fits-all box. But what if there was a better way? What if the support actually adapted to the incredible team you already have? And this, right here, shows the fundamental difference. The model on the left, that's what we see all the time. An outside group comes in, tries to drop in a whole new structure, and it often just disrupts what's already working. But Cultivate's model is totally different. They don't replace your team, they supplement it. They add the specific pieces you need to make your internal team even stronger for the long haul. And this table just lays it out perfectly. Look, your district already has dedicated leaders and team members. The partnership model just helps you see where the gaps are. Maybe you need a data analyst who really knows their stuff or an on-the-ground implementation coach. Cultivate provides an experienced specialist to fill those exact roles, creating a complete powerhouse leadership team. Okay, so a great team is crucial, but they also need a great blueprint, right? Cultivate structures their partnerships around a really clear step-by-step framework for success. Just think of it like saving for a big vacation. You got to know where you're going, right? You need a plan for how you're going to save the money, and you need to track your progress. It's the exact same logic, just applied to something as complex as a school initiative. To get that clarity, they use what they call the 6 Ps of implementation fidelity. Now, this isn't just some boring checklist. It's a strategic roadmap that hits every single critical stage of an initiative. It's designed to make sure you avoid those common pitfalls and that nothing falls through the cracks. It all kicks off with purpose, which is all about getting everyone, and I mean everyone, aligned on the fundamental why behind the work. Because when teachers and parents and admins all have a different reason in their head, it just creates confusion and waste resources. Honestly, so often, this is where things break down. A lack of clarity in the paper, the actual guidance documents, and the process, how you're actually measuring if the plan is being followed, without clear answers to what's the plan and is it even happening. Even the best intentions can just go completely off the rails. And finally, the framework makes sure you're tracking feedback, that you're measuring the right student outcomes, and this is the big one, that you're building a plan for long-term sustainability, so the work keeps going long after any external support fades away. So, who are the folks guiding you through this whole framework? This is where you really see the incredible depth of the Cultivate team. Get this, the 3 core implementation specialists for Iowa, they bring a combined 90 years of experience to the table. 90! This isn't just theory from a book. This is decades spent in the trenches, as teachers, administrators, and state-level consultants. That's a massive pool of real-world wisdom to draw from. And this team has a top-notch reputation. They bring deep, deep expertise in the science of reading, in MTS, which is basically a framework for giving targeted support to struggling students, and in driving real systemic change. And the crucial part is they've been there, they've been in the trenches, and they get the real-world challenges that schools face every single day. Okay, so this combination of a supplementary model and all this expertise, it leads to some pretty tangible results. Let's look at a couple of real-world examples. First up, the Valley Heights District. Now, their goal wasn't just about a quick win. It was about building local capacity so that the system could thrive and keep working even after administrators came and went. And the results were just remarkable. The school saw this significant, steady progress in closing achievement gaps for their students on free and reduced lunch, and it all culminated in them winning a National Blue Ribbon Schools Award in 2023. That's amazing. Okay, next example. A school in Newton, Kansas, where the challenge was a little different. Here, Cultivate was brought in to provide very specific, targeted implementation coaching to tackle these really low scores among their English language learner students. So what happened? Well, after just 1 year of this super targeted coaching, the percentage of ELL students scoring at the lowest level, it dropped by nearly 12 percentage points. That is a massive, life-changing shift for those students in a really short amount of time. You see, these case studies really highlight the ultimate goal of this partnership, creating lasting, independent success. And this is why that partnership piece is so critical. Fidelity is just a fancy word for making sure the initiative is being done the way it was designed. And the research shows that with a well-functioning implementation team, the kind Cultivate helps you build, a staggering 80% of schools achieve that fidelity. But without that team, the success rate plummets to under 20%. The right team structure is literally the difference between success and failure. At the end of the day, Cultivate's goal isn't to be a permanent fixture in a school. It's to be a temporary catalyst, to build up a district's own internal capacity to sustain and innovate all on its own. So the final question is really for you. What gaps on your team could a true partner fill to completely transform your district's future?